People love to say, think positive and life will follow. But have you noticed that sometimes you think all the right thoughts and nothing changes? The truth is, creation doesn't start in your mind. It starts in your body. Every breath, every micro tension in your chest, every subtle clench in your stomach is a message. It's the language your body speaks to the world around you. When that language says, it's not safe yet, life doesn't open. It mirrors your readiness. Most people don't realize that their body is constantly deciding between protection and receiving. It's like a hidden switch always scanning. Am I safe or am I in danger? And when that switch leans toward protection, even the most beautiful opportunities feel overwhelming. You don't sabotage them. Your biology simply won't let them in. This is where manifestation quietly collapses. Because the energy that creates isn't mental effort, it's physiological permission. A relaxed, coherent body sends a very different signal than one braced for threat. Safety has its own frequency, and when that becomes your baseline, life starts to respond differently, not because you forced it, but because you finally stopped resisting it. But here's the part, almost no one talks about that switch. The one keeping you in defense can be rewired, not through willpower, not through affirmations. Through something older, something instinctive, the kind of regulation that happens below thought, where breath meets rhythm, where movement becomes medicine, where the body finally remembers peace. In this video, you'll see how that reset works. The subtle ways to re-enter your body, repattern your breath, move in rhythm, and anchor safety until your system starts to trust life again. Step by step. But once you know and understand it, keep it to yourself. This is important. Because once your body learns it's safe, everything else you've been chasing finally has permission to arrive, and reality begins to shift before your very eyes. Every one of us carries a switch deep inside the body, an ancient reflex built to decide in a split second whether we should open or defend. When life feels uncertain, that switch flips toward protection. The heart rate rises, the breath shortens, the shoulders lift. It's subtle, almost invisible, but the entire body braces as if the world is about to strike. Neuroscience has a name for this ancient wiring, the survival response. The emotional brain, the amygdala, the limbic system works like a smoke detector. It doesn't analyze or reason. It only asks, are we safe? When it thinks the answer is no, it floods the body with energy to fight, flee, or freeze. That response once saved our ancestors from real predators. But in the modern world, it's triggered by smaller threats. A disapproving look, a late bill, an unread message. The body can't tell the difference between danger in the wild and danger in the inbox. And here's the paradox. The same survival, energy that once protected you, eventually becomes the very thing that limits you. The body learns to expect tension. It memorizes stress as normal. Over time, protection stops being a momentary reaction and becomes a personality, the careful planner, the overthinker, the one who can't rest until everything is under control. That's the trauma switch in action. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's the tiny tightening in your chest when someone praises you. Sometimes it's the need to double-check every decision before you can breathe. The body calls this safety, but it's really anticipation, a life lived in preparation for impact. When that pattern runs long enough, it rewires the communication between brain and body. The thinking brain, the prefrontal cortex, tries to plan its way out, but the emotional brain keeps sounding the alarm. They fall out of sync, one saying, "I'm fine," the other screaming, "We're still in danger." That's why trauma feels like contradiction. You can know you're safe and still feel on edge. You can say you trust life and still feel the impulse to control it. The conscious mind wants expansion. The body only knows defense. And this is where manifestation quietly derails. Because the energy you send out doesn't come from words or logic, it comes from the state your body lives in. A nervous system that's still guarding itself can't open to receive. It's not that the universe is ignoring you, it's that your signal is jammed by static that says, "Hold back, not yet." The most tragic part? That static often hides behind what the world praises: discipline, independence, resilience. We call it responsibility. But underneath, it's fear wearing professionalism's clothes. Healing begins the moment you notice that pattern without judgment. When you realize that the urge to plan everything, fix everyone, and predict every outcome isn't who you are. It's your body trying to protect the version of you that once needed guarding. The trauma switch doesn't turn off through force or affirmation. It softens through evidence each time the body feels something new and learns that safety can exist without control. And that's where our next shift begins. Understanding how safety itself becomes a frequency, a biological broadcast that tells life it's okay to move closer. Because the same system that once kept you alive can also become the system that lets you finally live. If the trauma switch is what locks the body in defense, the frequency of safety is what unlocks it. It's not an idea. It's a literal vibration, a pattern of breath, rhythm, and chemistry that tells your entire system it's okay to be here. When that frequency becomes your baseline, life begins to move differently around you. Conversations open, synchronicities line up. The same situations that once triggered you now pass through you like waves that no longer need to knock you over. Because the body, when it feels safe, stops scanning for threat. It stops predicting pain. And in that pause, that stillness, it becomes receptive again. From a biological view, this shift is profound. The vagus nerve, a vast superhighway running from your brainstem through your heart and into your gut, acts like your internal tuning fork. When it's balanced, your heart rate variability increases, your breath slows, and your body re-enters harmony. In that state, the world feels different not because it changed, but because you did. This is coherence when your thoughts, emotions, and physiology are finally sending the same message. It's what people describe as alignment, flow, or divine timing. But underneath those mystical words is a measurable pattern, a regulated nervous system. Most people never experience sustained coherence because they're living on delay. Their body is reliving yesterday's fear while their mind is trying to plan tomorrow's escape. The signal they send out is fractured, part hope, part hypervigilance. And the universe, ever responsive, mirrors that confusion back. You can feel it in small moments. That meeting where your chest tightens before you speak. The unread text that makes your stomach drop. The quiet fear that if you relax, everything might fall apart. These are not random sensations, they're feedback from a body broadcasting, "not safe." When you start to notice them, something shifts. You stop blaming yourself for being blocked and begin realizing that your system has simply been running on the wrong frequency. You don't need to push harder, you need to retune. Safety is not stillness, it's spaciousness. It's what allows movement to happen without chaos. It's the difference between forcing and flowing. When you feel safe inside your own skin, you stop rehearsing for disaster, and life stops responding with obstacles that match that rehearsal. Science backs this in remarkable ways. Studies on trauma recovery show that when people restore their sense of bodily safety through breathwork, yoga, gentle movement, or even supportive connection, their perception of possibility expands. The brain's watchtower, the prefrontal cortex, lights back up. Decision-making returns, creativity returns. They literally re-enter the present moment, the only place creation ever happens. That's why safety isn't a reward for healing. It's the mechanism of creation itself. When your nervous system feels safe, it stops sending "protect me" and starts broadcasting, "I'm ready." Think of it like tuning an instrument. A string that's wound too tight can't produce music, it just snaps. But loosen it to the right tension, and suddenly, resonance, harmony, sound that fills the room. Your body works the same way. Overwound in survival, it can't hold abundance, it only holds its breath. But when you teach it to relax, into the present, to let safety become familiar, it begins to play life differently. That's the frequency the universe recognizes, the sound of a body that no longer resists its own expansion. And the beauty is, you can learn it. Safety is teachable. The more often you return to it, the faster your system remembers. So the next step isn't to raise your vibration by force, it's to restore coherence by practice. Because once your body learns the sound of safety, life starts to sing along. The body's greatest secret is that healing doesn't begin in the mind that understands. It begins in the body that feels understood. For years, people tried to think their way out of stress, positive thoughts, mental affirmations, reframing the story. But the nervous system doesn't speak English. It speaks chemistry, rhythm, and touch. Every emotion, every surge of adrenaline or calm, is carried through an invisible network that threads the brain to the heart, lungs, and gut, the autonomic nervous system. When danger appears, this system pulls the alarm. The sympathetic branch floods the body with energy to survive. When safety returns, the parasympathetic branch, led by the vagus nerve, restores balance. That dance is what keeps you alive. The problem is that trauma, chronic stress, or even years of subtle self-pressure can trap the body halfway between alarm and ease. You look calm, but internally the brake and the accelerator are pressed at the same time. That's why you can feel exhausted and restless in the same breath. Neuroscientists call this imbalance a loss of heart rate variability, the measure of how flexibly your body shifts between effort and rest. When variability is high, you adapt easily, you speak clearly, think creatively, connect deeply. When it's low, you get stuck in survival mode. Narrow focus, shallow breath, quick reactions. It's the biological version of tunnel vision. The good news is that this system isn't fixed, it's trainable. The same circuits that learned fear can learn safety through repetition and embodied experience. That's what bottom-up regulation means, using the body to teach the brain it's okay to relax. Simple acts like slow breathing, humming, gentle movement, or rhythmic walking send signals through the vagus nerve that say, "We're safe now." Each signal quiets the amygdala's alarm and strengthens the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that makes sense of experience and allows choice. Over time, this becomes a loop of trust. The body calms, the mind perceives safety, and the two begin to synchronize again. You can see this in therapies backed by research. Yoga restores heart rate variability and reconnects interoception, your ability to feel internal states. EMDR uses eye movement to relink emotional and rational centers, allowing frozen memories to thaw. Neurofeedback trains the brain to recognize regulation in real time. Each is different, yet they share one goal: to give the body new evidence that peace is possible. From a spiritual lens, this is the moment when energy starts flowing instead of looping. From a scientific one, it's the nervous system, shifting from protection to presence. Both describe the same phenomenon, coherence. When you enter coherence, you don't just feel better. Your perception of reality literally changes. Colors seem sharper. Music feels deeper. Ideas arrive faster. The world hasn't transformed, your internal filter has. The watchtower of your brain, once dimmed by hypervigilance, lights up again, letting you witness life instead of defend against it. This is why regulation precedes manifestation. Until the body believes it's safe, it will prioritize control over creativity. But the moment safety becomes familiar, energy that was trapped in defense becomes available for expansion. You stop creating from fear and start creating from flow. Regulation isn't a spiritual luxury, it's biological alignment. It's what allows every other practice, meditation, affirmation, visualization to finally land. Because once the nervous system feels safe, the message is no longer distorted by static. It travels cleanly, clearly, into the field around you. That's the real science of regulation. The body learns safety. Safety restores coherence. Coherence becomes creation. Healing the nervous system isn't about thinking differently. It's about feeling differently on purpose, over and over, until the body learns a new normal. That's what a bottom-up reset really is. A conversation between sensation and safety. No philosophy, no willpower, just a slow retraining of the body to believe that calm is not a trap. Most people try to start at the top, convincing the mind to relax. But the mind takes its cues from the body. If the body's still braced, the mind keeps scanning. So instead of silencing thoughts, we begin by shifting physiology, breath, posture, movement, because those are the levers the nervous system actually listens to. Imagine your body as a radio receiver. When stress hits, the dial slips off frequency and fills with static. A bottom-up reset is the process of gently turning the dial back until the signal clears. You're not forcing peace. You're removing the interference. Step 1. Re-entering the body. Start by noticing gravity. Feel where the chair or the floor meets you. Let your awareness drop from your head into those contact points. You don't need to relax, just notice. This simple awareness is interoception, the brain's ability to feel what's happening inside. Trauma dulls this sense. Safety restores it. Each time you feel the weight of your body without judging it, you send data upward. We're here, and nothing bad is happening. That message alone begins to quiet the alarm system. Step 2, repatterning through breath. Next comes breath, the most direct line to the vagus nerve. Inhale slowly through the nose, allowing the ribs to expand sideways. Pause briefly, then exhale longer than you inhaled. The extended exhale activates the body's brake pedal, signaling rest and repair. You can add gentle sound, a hum or soft to vibrate the throat and chest. That vibration literally massages the vagus nerve, strengthening your capacity for calm. It's primitive technology, built right into your body. As you breathe, imagine each exhale widening the internal space around your heart. Not a visualization to achieve something, just an invitation to let space exist. This is what scientists call increasing vagal tone, what mystics describe as opening the heart. Different language, same biology. Step 3. Rhythm and movement. Stillness isn't the only doorway. Sometimes, safety returns faster through rhythm walking, swaying, stretching. The body evolved to regulate through movement. Every step or gentle sway resynchronizes the two hemispheres of the brain. That's why you often get ideas in the shower or on a walk. Movement frees the circuits. Choose a rhythm that feels natural and repetitive. Don't push. Let the motion be circular rather than linear. Over time, rhythm becomes reassurance. I'm moving, and I'm safe while I move. Step 4. Anchoring safety. The final layer is to anchor. After each breath or movement cycle, pause and notice the smallest sign of ease, maybe warmth, looseness, a deeper inhale. Name it silently. Safe, soft, open. Labeling the sensation imprints it in the hippocampus, teaching memory to associate calm with safety rather than danger. The key is repetition without striving. Safety isn't built by chasing peace, it's built by noticing it when it arrives. Each time you do, the neural pathways for calm thicken like a trail in the woods walked often enough that the grass gives way to clear ground. When you regulate from the bottom up, you're rewriting the operating system instead of patching the software. Breath changes carbon dioxide levels, which adjust pH and blood flow in the brain. Movement and vibration stimulate the vagus nerve, increasing heart rate variability. Awareness integrates the sensory and emotional parts of the brain, allowing communication between feeling and thought. The result isn't just temporary calm, it's capacity. Your system learns to hold more life without shutting down, and that's the quiet miracle. The same circuits that once carried fear begin to carry flow. Over time, your baseline shifts. You stop interpreting stillness as danger and begin recognizing it as power. And from that power, manifestation finally becomes effortless, not because you've learned a new trick, but because your body is no longer fighting the present. Safety turns desire into magnetism. Every breath becomes a signal. I'm here. I can hold this. And the universe, attuned as ever, answers in kind. At the start of this journey, we talked about how most people try to manifest from the neck up, using thoughts, mantras, or mental force. But what we've really discovered is that creation begins much lower in the rhythm of the body, in the felt sense of safety that quietly tells life, it's okay to come closer. When you train your nervous system to feel safe, you stop chasing alignment and start embodying it. Safety becomes your vibration. Peace stops being a goal and becomes your default signal. From that place, you don't have to push the universe. It starts to cooperate naturally. Opportunities, connections, timing, they stop feeling random. They start feeling like resonance. Because now your energy, your thoughts, and your body are finally speaking the same language. That's the real manifestation secret. Coherence. Not control, not pretending to be positive coherence. A regulated body is an open field. It's the difference between gripping at life and holding life. And the beauty is, you don't need to fix every part of yourself to reach that state. You just need to keep showing your body that peace is safe, that rest is allowed, that receiving isn't dangerous. Every breath, every moment of noticing calm without chasing it, is you reprogramming the switch that once said, stay guarded. In time, safety becomes your new home frequency, not the exception, but the baseline. And that's when everything changes. Work stops feeling like survival. Relationships feel lighter. Ideas come easier. You stop reacting and start creating. Because safety isn't the reward for a healed life, it's the foundation that allows that life to exist. Once your body believes it's safe, abundance is no longer something you reach for. It's something that reaches for you. So take a breath right now, not to relax, but to remember. Remember that every inhale is permission to be here, and every exhale is proof that you already are. You don't need to become more spiritual, more disciplined, or more deserving. You just need to become safely available. That's the bridge between the life you imagine and the one you're living.